All right, guys, here's your video for 7, 8, 9. I'm not going to plug the 1 in. You know to do that first anyway. I feel pretty confident you're good there. So don't forget to plug the 1 in first to make sure that it works. So on number 7, I got 2 plus 4 plus dot, 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 plus 2n. Remember to add the next term, which would be the n plus 1. So I'm doing 2 plus n plus 1. Whatever you add to the left, remember you must add to the right. So I'm going to add 2 and n plus 1 there. And once you do that, always keep in mind what you're trying to finish up with. You're trying to finish up with an n plus 1 right here and an n plus 1 right there. So what I notice on this right-hand side is I have an n plus 1 in both terms. So I'm going to factor out the n plus 1. When I do that, that leaves an n plus 2. Right now, you can write n plus 2 like this, n plus 1 plus 1, which is exactly what I wanted. Look up here, back where we started again. I wanted n plus 1 and n plus 1 plus 1, and I got it that quickly. All right, let's look at 8. Number 8, again, plug in 1 first. I think you can do that. I'm going to skip to the main part. 1 squared plus 2 squared, dot, 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 plus n squared. So my next term is n plus 1 squared. Whatever you add to the left, you must add to the right. So I'm going to take this n plus 1, 2n plus 1 all over 6, and add the n plus 1 squared, just like I did to the right-hand side. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the whole side one big fraction. So I'm leaving this first part just like it was. The second part, that n plus 1 squared, I got to multiply by 6 to make it, to be able to put it in that fraction. All right, now, again, look what you want to end up with. I need an n plus 1 right there. And again, both terms have an n plus 1. Every time I see that happen, I'm going to go ahead and factor that out. Now, if I factor out the n plus 1 out of the first term, that leaves n and 2n plus 1. If I factor out the second term, it leaves me just one of the n plus 1s. All right, so I have that. So all over 6, by the way. And so what I'm going to do next is I'm going to simplify the stuff that's inside my bracket. I don't like those parentheses. There we go. So if I multiply through, if I distribute the n and the 6, I'm going to make this a little bit short here. If I distribute the n, I'm going to get 1n. The 6 gives me 6n. 1n and 6n is 7n. And then 6 times 1 is 6 at the end right there. Still all over 6. Now, again, keep looking. What am I trying to end up with? I've got my n plus 1 right here. I need an n plus 1 plus 1. So I'm going to factor this. I'm going to do slide, divide, slide inside my bracket. And I'm just doing this without showing you I'm doing slide, divide, slide. I'm doing slide, divide, slide. So I'm going to go a 2 here and a 3 there. That's if you did slide, divide, slide, that's how it would end up. All right, so I think I'm good here. I got the n plus 1. N plus 2 I can rewrite like I did a minute ago, n plus 1 plus 1, which is what I want in the second part. And what I need to end up with is I need 2 n plus 1. That's what I need because that's what I have up here up at the top. So I need to check and make sure this right here, that 2n plus 3, is really the same thing as that. And if it is, I'm good to go. And you know what? It works perfectly. That's it. All right, I'm going to show you one more here, number 9. All right, number 9 show that this is that 6n. 6 to the n power plus 4 is divisible by 5. Again, check the 1 first. Okay, I'm skipping that just to keep this video short. So 6 to the n plus 4, if it's divisible by 5, it means you can multiply 5 times anything and get that term. So first step always is let's move that 4 over. So moving the 4 to the other side. That leaves me 6 to the n on the left. I need 6 to the n plus 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply that side by 6. And if I do that, I must multiply that side by 6. All right, now the left-hand side, that does give me n plus 1 because really that exponent is 1 on that 6. And if you multiply, you add the exponents. On the right-hand side, distribute the 6 just like that. And I'm getting close here, but I need the left-hand side to be 6 to the n plus 1 plus 4. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 4. And if I add 4 to the left, you must also add 4 to the right, which gives me this. It gives me 6 to the n plus 1 plus 4 equals 30k minus 20. Now, I need to be divisible by 5. So I'm going to do one more step here. I'm going to do 6 to the n plus 1 plus 4. And I'm going to factor a 5 out of this 2. I know I could do a 10, but it doesn't say divisible by 10. It says divisible by 5. So if I take a 5 out, that leaves 6k minus 4. And there you have it. All right, it's divisible. 6 to the n plus 1. The next term is divisible by 4, just like the first term was. Hope that helps. Watch as much as you need to. Sorry it's a little bit late. See you tomorrow.